Let's talk Marvel. The Venture Brothers is full of references to comic books. I've already done one on... So let's talk about everybody's favourite cinematic universe, and comic universe, and video game universe, and probably books, and every other form of media that could possibly exist. Alright, coming in sort of my 10th place spot, the least interesting Marvel reference, is the Grand Galactic Inquisitor.
The Grand Galactic Inquisitor hears all, sees all.
While he is a brilliant ignore me character, he's loosely based on the Watchers and the Living Tribunal, which is a sort of judgmental being in the Marvel comic universe that makes the hard decisions about life, the universe, and the multiverse. Who, while I was researching this video, briefly showed up in the Loki TV series as a statue for like half.
Hey, I always thought Baron Underbite was Dad's archenemy.
Underbite? Why, that dime store Dr. Doom isn't fit to... Just you wait till your father calls me back.
But next on the list is Baron von Underbite, who is also a massive Darth Vader reference, which I think Marvel make the comics for now, is a dollar store Doctor Doom, or a dime store Doctor Doom.
Baron Unterbite.
1. All persons associated with the guild.
Good luck.
A millionaire scientist, leader of his own country, from a spooky castle where he controls everything. Exactly like Doctor Doom, except significantly less competent and way grosser. Though Doom has probably melted his entire face off putting on his mask. So, you win some, you lose some. Wandering Spider, a character who doesn't do a lot in the show, only showing up for a single episode, but he's Dr. Octopus. He's got 4 ginormous robotic legs.
What the hell?
But again, he's not a super genius scientist like Doc Ock. He's more killer of men, as Henchman 21 finds out as he darts himself. Marvel Comics #1. In the first episode of Season 4, 21 tries to get his best friend 24 brought back to life by Dr. Venture's cloning technology. And rather than money, Henchman 21 offers him a Marvel Comic #1.
This relic belonged to my father's father. It has been passed down to the firstborn male in my family's line.
What? It's a comic. A comic that has a price on it for 10 cents.
A comic? That is Marvel #1!
Look, I wasn't born yesterday. There's no way that something featuring Khazar the Great and 12 pages of jungle adventure is worth $500,000.
That's in almost dead mint condition. That is CGC rated at 9.6.
Which is kind of crap. None of the boys enjoyed reading it, as they take it out of its near mint condition sleeve, and it slowly gets destroyed by the Venture Bros, Hitler in the form of an angry dog, Dr. Orpheus, and then finally, I believe, Sergeant Hatred uses the magazine as toilet paper. Something that was probably even more valuable now than it was at the time of that episode coming out, turned to worthless nothing in like 20 minutes. Dr. Orpheus in the Order of the Triad. Dr. Orpheus is clearly a big old Doctor Strange reference.
There is cosmic peril somewhere.
No, answer it. I guess I'll just wait.
It says that Dr. Venture and this entire family are in danger. Then there was something about hundreds of deaths, like you care.
No, you old bag of sand. That I care about.
Even though he is somehow more pretentious than the wizard himself, we see Dr. O throughout the series fighting off his arch nemesis, Torrid, who is Dormammu, at least very similar to the comic version. The Season 7 premiere, we also see the Triad moving into a new building in New York with a Doctor Strange window.
3 floors, a garage for the Triad mobile,
Blood vessel.
plus it's got a Doctor Strange window.
And alongside Dr. O, we get Jefferson Twilight, who is Blade, but he only hunts Blackulas.
London?
Hey man, I gotta go where the black shit is. For me to do anything. You're not my mama. She was taken by marauding blackulars when I was 10.
And I'm sorry for your loss, but...
3, there is never a triad emergency.
Well, there's no need to be petulant about it.
Inhale, JT.
And 4, this ain't London.
Still a badass motherfucker, but not quite as cool as Blade himself, as he is not part vampire and is probably quite limited in his skill set since he only hunts black vampires. The Brown Widow. Spider-Man, but what if he was even grosser?
End of the line, sir. Please remember to take all your personal belongings and be sure to tip your drive. King tourists.
Jared got affected by some kind of scientific experiment gone wrong, probably bitten by a radioactive spider. Unlike Spider-Man, he did not develop quite as cool powers. He has spider senses. He can produce his own webs, which most Spider-Men can't. But his webs come out his butt, which is a little bit grosser. And also, he never continued with the super science racket like Peter Parker, deciding that after this accident, it was probably best to get out of it. And fair enough. A butt web mutation is, in the scheme of it, not the end of the world. The Impossible Family and the Fantastic Four. The show makes a direct reference to this in season 2 as they win the comic contest. But
fair and square, the Impossible Family made a really convincing Fantastic Four.
But costume contest? They are literally the Fantastic Four. You've got Reed Richards, or Professor Impossible, is a super stretchy man who can do whatever he wants, including, well, this.
I am Professor Richard Impossible. I can do this.
Holy crap!
Sally, the Invisible Woman, not quite as lucky as Sue Storm, as she can only turn her skin invisible, not the rest of her body, making her into a gross demon creature.
Stop calling him the child, Richard! His name is Rocket, and I'm not leaving him with your crappy robot!
Sally!
Which has scared more than a few characters in the show. Ned is the human Callus. He has extremely thick skin and probably some kind of super strength. It'd be useful. Unfortunately, Ned is not altogether in his headspace. And Cody, whose skin ignites whenever he's in a normal Earth atmosphere. Unfortunately, he is also in immense pain when his skin ignites and is basically worthless. Except as a fuel source for all of Impossible Industries, because Professor Impossible, kind of a bad guy. The Crusaders Action League. We've got Stars and Garters, who is Captain America, but weirdly wearing a lot less clothes and having a lot more useless of a shield. Still, an all-American hero and a pretty cool dude.
Pretty much the Avengers are on our porch. Whoa, good morning, Citizen Venture. Welcome to the neighborhood.
The Fallen Archer, who is Hawkeye with a foot fetish. He shoots arrows like a badass, but his arrows are weirdly creepy, but they do return to him, so maybe better than just shooting normal arrows.
Fallen Archer now, big man. Too bad you got 2 left feet.
And Night Dick, who is Ghost Rider meets 1950s noir detective, who should be one of Hank's favourite members of the Crusaders League. Unfortunately, he chose the name Night Dick instead of Ghost Rider or Ghost Detective or something cool, and has kind of screwed himself on ever being a badass.
Myself, son. I said there ain't nothing they can do for me on this earth. But there is one thing might could cure me. Alien technology!
Timothy Traister is exposed to cosmic radiation as he is blasted into space after believing himself to be a Hulk due to card holder and dough. What they didn't expect was it all to be a giant con and Tracer to have all of the inside knowledge and a secret bridge. But blasted by cosmic radiation on a rocket ship to space, Tracer becomes a real Hulk.
He's alive, but barely. Flash frozen. Think bird's eye peas. I can't even imagine the kind of cosmic radiation he's suffered. This is cruelty.
He saves a $1 billion spaceship, all of the people aboard, before sacrificing himself and JJ as they explode before they can ever meet the Star People. And Dr. AntMan, who is AntMan. His powers are to shrink and to grow and to sort of communicate with ants. But obviously, they don't communicate back, and maybe he has just been going insane, locked in a room for a lot of years by himself.
All alone. Hey, there's no one left to talk to.
You could talk to the ants?
No, you don't actually talk to them. That would be silly. They wouldn't have anything to say anyway, other than, hey, let's eat, and I'll have sex with this us-sized guy.
But he gets big, he gets small. His name is AntMan. He is just a direct copy. But he is probably one of my favourite members of the original Team Venture. Him and the Action Man. And maybe Colonel Gentleman. He is a badass. But he's a badass in his own right. Marvel. References. I love it.